Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing my October wrap up. I'm excited and I still can't believe that October is already over. Time is flying. We're in the last 2 months of the year. Who would have thought? Let's just get right into it. Now listen, I remembered some of the characters' names for this wrap up, but my next wrap up, I'll do better because I tried to remember the names of some of the books that I read, and then I had to go through the synopsis to see if the synopsis would say any names, and they didn't, at least not for all of them. Anyways, I will try to do my best here. First novella that I read in the second half of October was Little Piece of Sass by Clio Evans. This is a MFF romance between a werewolf named Al, a cat shifter named Luna, and a human woman named Quinn. So this is part of the Creature Cafe series. This is where the barista sets up these supernatural, paranormal beings, monsters, whatever you want to call them, and match them with their fated mate slash soulmate. This being that Al and Luna were looking for a third person in their little pack, and Quinn ended up being that person. I actually ended up really enjoying this book. I rated it 3 stars, 3.5 really. I really enjoyed it. I love that it was FF, and I loved how sassy and Little Piece of Sass. That's why I'm smiling. Anyways, I really loved how sassy Luna and Quinn were and how their playful banter was with Al, and also the fact that Al had he had 2 dicks. It was great. It was awesome. There was nesting, nodding, all the things. I gave it 3.5 stars. Next one that I read was Little Song of Pain by Clio Evans. This is between Carius and Dallas. I believe they are twin brothers. This one was a little for me. There's a third person. Hold on. I realized that I just stopped at those 2 and I was like, no. Carius and Dallas are Phoenix shifters. So they go to the barista to get their fated mate, and they get matched with Melody. She is a human woman. And basically, this was very, very interesting. It was smutty just like the rest of them. I don't think there was any interesting parts to these monsters except the fact that when they climax, they literally turn to ash. There's some fire play as well in here, which was interesting. It was good. I gave it 3 stars, a solid 3 stars. Then I read Little Taste of Need by Clio Evans. This is between Naomi and Ella. This is an FF romance. Naomi she's a Naga. Yes, that's what it's called. And Ella is a human woman. She is actually the best friend of Melody from the previous book. And I thought this was very enjoyable. I gave it 3 stars. Honestly, in this one, the most that I remember is that the plot thickens. Stuff goes down, and there's a very nasty ex. It was good. It was enjoyable. 3 stars. Then I read Little Risk of Fall by Clio Evans. This is between Jasper and Alex. This one is an MM romance. Jasper is an orc, and Alex is a human male. This one was cute and a little bit kinky. There is the primal kink in this one, which I found very nice. And also the plot thickens more in this one. Like I said, the Creature Cafe novellas, they are basically smut with plot, but the plot carries on in each book until you get to the barista's book, which was what I was trying to get to. I binged this whole series because I wanted to see who the barista ends up with. Anyways, I gave that one 3 stars as well. Next, I read Little Wings of Fate by Clio Evans. This is going to be a threesome. This is an MMM romance. This is between Gabriel, who was a villain actually in a previous book, and he is also the son of Lucifer. And then we have Cam, who is, and I'm pretty sure he's a fallen angel just like Gabriel. Basically, Cam and Gabriel, they meet because the barista puts Gabriel with Cam so Cam can teach Gabriel not to hate humans. Then they go and look for a third partner. I really enjoyed this one because Cam actually loses one of his wings while trying to save, I believe, Alex from the previous book. That is very painful and devastating and just heartbreaking for an angel to lose one of his wings. So Gabriel thinks that if they put somebody else into their little group, that it will help make Cam feel better. But internally, they both knew from the beginning that they were missing a part of their relationship. And this is where Seth comes in. The barista hooks them up, and Seth is actually a tattoo artist, and there is a point in this book that I find really, really cool, where they have this like pain play because Seth tattoos Cam, and it was just absolutely beautiful. This one was also very interesting in the anatomy, because Gabriel's anatomy, I just don't understand. I mean, I understand, but I was just like, how did she come up with this, and why? No, but it was great. I think I still gave it 3 stars though. I enjoyed it. Then we finally get to the barista's book. This is called Little Souls of Fire by Clio Evans. This is between the barista, Lucifer, and Trixie. I think her name is Trixie. I am not 100% sure on that one, but I want to say it's Trixie, but don't quote me on that. This one was very interesting. This is where Lucifer has a change of heart because he is basically the villain in the entire series, and I just enjoyed seeing their dynamic. I loved how the barista was a dom, and the barista has this shadow self that comes out of him. So is it really a foursome or a threesome? It's great. It's really, really great. I love how Lucifer is the submissive one, and I love that Trixie becomes either a dom with Lucifer or she becomes submissive with the barista, and the barista's just dom with both of them. It was just so enjoyable, and low-key I loved that Lucifer got his little happily ever after. Also the barista and also Trixie. I think I gave this one 4 stars just because I had been waiting for this one, and I truly really did love it. Now moving on to non-monster paranormal novellas. I read Tattered by Catherine Cowles. I read this one for a reading vlog, so I won't go too in-depth into it. This one I ended up giving 2 stars. It just wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. I didn't really connect with the characters. I don't think the relationship development was real or genuine. I think there was just a lot of trauma bonding. The plot was interesting, but it wasn't interesting enough. The whole plot of it is about this really like cult family, and it's not really something I enjoy reading about because it makes me kind of angry because there's a lot of misogynistic tendencies going on in here. Anyways, I gave it 2 stars. It just wasn't for me. I do hear the series gets better, but I don't really know when I'm going to be picking it up. Next, I read Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. This was another book that I read for that reading vlog. I will link it up in the cards for you guys if you guys haven't watched it. I think it's a good one, but it's a long one, but you can skip around to see my thoughts on different books if you would like. Loved this book. I gave it 4.5, but rounding it up to a 5 on Goodreads. It wasn't quite perfection for me. I enjoyed my reading throughout the whole book, but I never felt that giddiness that I feel when I'm reading Heartless, let's say, by Elsie Silver, or Fighting Feelings, or Wolf Gone Wild, like all of those. Yeah, this one is about Elliot and Macy. This book though was just amazing for what it was. I just loved the book for what it was. Like, it was a cozy small town read. It was friends to lovers, to strangers, to lover, to friends again, to lovers. The reason why they were apart was done great. I feel like there is a part that I didn't really quite enjoy and I wish wasn't left open-ended, but you can hear more about that in my vlog. Anyways, I think you should definitely read it. I really loved it. I love Elliot. I love the reading nook. I love the cabin. I love the past and present. I think that was done so well. I just ate it up. I ate this book up. It was good. Elliot is just book boyfriend material. When I say that I love soft boys, Elliot falls into that category. Next book that I read was Satan's Affair by H.G. Carlton. I can't remember any of the characters' names, but I gave this book a 3.5 stars because of the plot twist at the end. Bumped it up half a star, but I'm bumping it down to a 3 on Goodreads. But it was really good. I feel like it was a very well done introduction for Haunting and Hunting Adeline. That's why I ended up reading this little prequel novella. The plot twist really got me. I really honestly was not expecting it. It is very gory. Check trigger warnings. There's just a lot of stabbing and murder and cutting off body parts, just all of it. Human trafficking. It was a lot, but it was smutty at the same time, kind of disturbing. It was fun. I gave it 3.5 stars. Then I read Hollow's Grove by Lee. I'm just gonna end up saying just Lee because I can't say her name. Hollow's Grove was interesting. I gave it 4 stars. I just love Lee's writing and I love her characters and I love her novellas. I need to sit down one of these days and read one of her full-length books because I feel like it's just gonna be 5 stars. But anyways, she came out with this novella in October and it was perfect. It was spooky. It takes place in this this like gothic mansion, and the hero's sister pulls this like co-workers bonding game thing, and there's a maze, and there's chasing, there's primal kink. The hero is a pleasure dom. Look that up if you don't know what it means, but or you could just read this book and find out for yourself, because I did not know anything about that until I read this book, which was very interesting. I really enjoyed it. I also love the banter back and forth. I love that it was a lot like enemies to lovers, but underneath it all, it's like they just really want each other, and I just enjoyed every minute of this book. I really did. Then I read Big Old Beard by Cassie. This one actually came out in October as well, and this is the fourth and final book in the Mail Order Mountain series. I like that this one was ended off not by the Mail Order Bride Agency. I like that this was a lot more organic, and basically this is about the hero who finds the heroine in the woods because she's a bird watcher scientist. I don't really know what that's called, but she accidentally gets scared and ends up spraying him in the face with bear spray, and then he actually ends up walking her home, and there's a lot of mutual pining. She doesn't like me, he doesn't like me, I like him, I like her. It was great. It was smutty. There is a virgin hero in this one as well as a virgin heroine. There is the too big trope, if you know what I mean. It was good. It was really good. I gave it 3 stars. Then I ended up reading The Co-op by Tarah Dewitt. Now this one, I am giving it 4.5 stars, but I am running it up to a 5-star. It couldn't be a full 5-star because this book didn't make me feel the same way that I felt when I was reading Funny Feelings. But I also want to reread this book at a later time. But either way, regardless, I loved this book. I still think that you should read it. In the beginning, it was hard for me to get into it. The writing, the way that it was, I feel like the transitions kind of got me because I read like the first and the second chapter, and then I had to like take a step back and be like, what the hell did I just read? I didn't process or take in any of this information, so I had to restart it. I don't know if that was the writing or if that was just me. I'll take the blame, to be honest, because I loved this book regardless. It was amazing after that. The reason that it didn't get 5 stars was because I felt like we needed a little bit more of the past in this book. Like if this book was set up the way that Love and Words was set up, I think that this book would have been a perfect 5-star. I also would have felt more of that tension, that chemistry that the hero and the heroine had, as in like we would have seen what brought them together when they were younger, and then seen how they kind of fell apart, and then how they get to this marriage of convenience and having to restore their relationship as well as having to restore the house. But other than that, this book was just, it was stunning. It was beautiful. I loved it. I loved the music. I loved the whole renovating of the house. I loved how badass the heroine was. I loved how she didn't take no shit. Hard on the outside, but she is soft on the inside, and it was very much Grumpy Sunshine, I feel like, as the heroine being the grump. And I love the hero as well. They both have trauma, and I loved how we got to see how that was presented to the world and how they were able to share those vulnerabilities with each other and just help each other grow from there. And I also love that they didn't beat around the bush about their attraction and how they just kind of got together. There was only like 1 sex scene in here. Well, full sex scene. I mean, you get like little snippets of more later on, but it wasn't as spicy as I would have wanted it to be. That's another reason I feel like. Also, there is literally one time, oh my god, there's just, when I think about it, there's this part where they're together and Deacon says something to Lorraine while they're getting it on, and I was just like, period. It was hot. I just loved it. I really did. I'm giving it a 4.5. But like, now that I'm like thinking about it, and now that there's been a couple of days that I've been thinking about it, I might just bring it down to a 4. Like, it was a solid 4-star, but like, now that I've talked with you guys and told you what I didn't like and what could have been done differently, I'm gonna bring it down to a 4 because it's not exactly a 5-star. I need to check my ratings. I need to check myself. But anyways, I think that overall, just the way that this book dealt with those things between the two characters, it's very much character development. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say, but I loved it. I do want to buy it because the physical cover is just beautiful, and I still love Tarah Dewitt. I can't wait to read the 3rd book that she has. I think it's the Rootbound, I think. I say roundabout, but it's root bound, I think. I'm pretty sure. Anyways, the last book that I read in October was actually a DNF. It was Heart of the Mountain by Frankie Love. I actually had this in my free ebook haul that I posted not that long ago. I will leave it up in the cards as well. I wanted to read this one because it was short and it has the wilderness and it has the single mom. But honestly, what did I write? Because I know I wrote something. I said DNF at 49%. It was the writing for me. It really was. There was just some cringy as hell things and I couldn't do it. I really couldn't. Can I see my notes on here so I can show you guys what I'm talking about or no? This has a 4.8. Who the hell? No, I'm not judging. I'm not judging. Oh, period. She knew exactly what I was talking about. She said, this is a different review, but it kind of sums it up. It says, y'all ever read something and the whole time you're just wondering why the fuck you're reading it? That was this book right here. And that it literally sums up this book. I don't know. I was reading it and it wasn't like I was hating it, but I was like, the whole time I was like, why am I reading this? This is so bad. Like some of the things that they would say to each other was just like embarrassing. Like I was embarrassed and I was just like, oh, you know, that was kind of cringy. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. I DNF'd it at 49% because I was like, there was this one specific line. If I could pull it up, I deleted it from my Kindle library. If I could pull it up, it's just something about how he's hungry and she's like, I want to feed you, but they're not talking about food. And it was cringy and it was bad. I DNF'd it and that was the last book that I read in October. So there's that. There you have it. It was a good month for me. I feel like I had a lot of 5 stars. I just enjoyed reading most of the books that I read. Let me know what your favorite book of October was down below in the comments. And if you don't want to comment that, then go ahead and leave me the crystal ball emoji. That would be so cute. And yeah, again, thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in my next one. Bye.